Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So quite a lot of new information just dropped in the Kabam livestream. I hosted a watch party for it, and this effectively is going to be the summary of the most important things that were revealed there. It started off quite slow in the first half, but towards the end we definitely did end up getting quite a lot of new and cool information. And honestly, I think this was largely a Kabam W stream, because for most part the things that we found out, the things that we were worried about, in my opinion, were much more reasonable than community kind of expected them to be. So I want to definitely give them props for it. As everybody likes to say that, you know, I hate on everybody and whatnot, and anything and everything they do I have an issue with, then obviously things aren't perfect, but they're definitely well better than, you know, many people in the community thought they're going to be, with the game moving fast into the rank 3s, with Cyber Weekend offers coming, Necropolis, and all that other stuff. So, I think it was definitely largely a Kabam W stream. So, let's go ahead. Obviously, we're going to have the Necropolis. We have a bit of Chilled, Deep Dive. We also saw a bit of Kushala, and Kushala definitely does look like a very cool champion. She will have some sort of spells to activate, like, you know, Doctor Strange characters and stuff like that. It is clear that she will be based around Incinerates. She'll be inflicting her own buffs on the opponent, as well as have the ability to nullify a ton of things, and level 2 does have access to Soul Barb. She will also have a different way of interacting with buffs if she has Misty Dispersion Mastery active. And that is effectively, she will gain power when the buffs are gained, not when they expire. So I like that as well. So that was the gameplay of Kushala that we saw. Now this thing honestly kind of got me scared. I'm really happy that it's absolutely relevant. Kabam is partnering up with Amazon Prime, and it's just one of those things where I know a lot of people have Amazon Prime accounts and all that stuff, but it's just not what you want to see in the game, at least not what I want to see. So I was kind of worried that it is going to be something important, but it really isn't. If you want, you can pause here, take a screenshot. Basically, you need to log in your Prime Gaming, go to specific URLs, and you're going to get, you know, a 3-star featured champion, 1 cow crystal, and 3 energy refills, like twice a month or something like that. So it's definitely nothing that you will be, quote unquote, missing out on. 3-star featured champion, get in arena for like 3 million points in featured arena twice a week. That's easy. And, you know, energy refills and the rest of the stuff. I mean, it's not awful, but it's definitely not something that will get me doing all that. So I'll leave it there. It's up to each and every single one of you, but we're going to leave that there. Then we also obviously know that December champion is going to be Onslaught, and Defender 25th champion is a mystery champion. We do not know who that is going to be, but we know that Onslaught is definitely the December champion. Right, so this we already knew. You get that crystal in the web store, and then they moved on to Alliance Quest setup. We do not have AQ rewards fully yet from this, but they show a new landing page. It looks like a lot of Battlegrounds page, which I actually like. And obviously the main feature that you will be able to do AQ 4 days a week. It is going to be on a 7-day cycle. You can pick the days, and this is more or less how it is going to look like. And this is a change to Alliance Quest that we have been waiting for a very long time. I think this is a video about the raids. I will make a separate video about the raids. There are some cool things, and I have heard some very good feedback that it is not as hard or confusing as it might initially appear to be. I do have some worries with it, because there are damage limits that you can do to the boss, and effectively will force you to revive. So I'm not a huge fan of that. And perhaps the most important thing, it costs Alliance tickets, which is the most annoying thing, because we kind of had this expectation when Kabam said Alliance tickets are going away from Alliance Quest, that we're going to be done away with them. But no, Alliance Quest looks like it's going to be free, but if you're going to want to do the boss rush, you're going to have to fork up Alliance tickets for that. And the last thing, though, that is kind of cool, is that your raids can be done instead of Alliance Quest, like once a month, I believe. And then you just need to do the raid once a week, and then your battleground has kind of, completed the points. Again, I'm sure we're going to get more details on that soon. It's coming in early 2024. But there are some cool things. There are some things that I'm worried about. But the overall feedback that I have heard is quite decent. And now we're going to talk about Deathless Champions again. And what we got informed about About Deathless Champions, again, I think is quite fair. Deathless Champions are late game collection chase that should challenge even the most hardened summoners. 7-star Deathless Champions piece sources will vary significantly based on current content that is in the game. And 6-star Deathless Champion should be accessible to late game summoners based on engagement across our game modes. But if you're confident in yourself that you are an active player, you don't have to acquire these 6-star pieces because you will get the 6-star together with 7-star. But obviously 6-star Deathless Champion piece sources will be more consistently available, and 7 piece will, yeah, if you collect the 7-star, you can get the 6-star as well. Right. The most important thing that Kabam John said, and Kabam John was a great guest. I really liked his delivery there. None of the pieces will be locked behind cash. Some of them will require in-game currency. Like here we can see that the last piece, Crossguard, is going to be in Banquet Milestone, but you know, they said it should be in a relatively low and an attainable milestone, not that you're going to need to fork out like 15k units for it. Should be, you know, in the earlier Banquet Milestones. That's, you know, achievable to most people or most top tier players. And the rest of it will effectively be distributed in some end-game content or some objectives and stuff like that. None of it is going to be based on cash sales, which I think is a huge commitment that they have made there, and I completely agree. And none of it will also be distributed in a limited capacity in like rank rewards, for instance, Masters rewards or Battlegrounds top 100 or something like that. This is going to be like, yeah, Necropolis completion, get to the Gladiator City in Battlegrounds, these some sort of objectives and stuff like that. There was quite a lot of pushback to the Banquet Milestone, but again, I genuinely think that was somewhat of an overreaction. Just, you know, make sure you have some units ready for Banquet and that'll be fine. So I think what they committed there is quite reassuring to the players who genuinely do not spend a lot on the game, but do play actively, feeling that they will not miss out on it. Now, another thing that they said that yeah, they will all be available in the store until January 31st. If you miss any piece, you will be able to kind of buy a piece selector with units later on, but it's going to be super expensive. Which again, I suppose, I'm not sure, you know, whether they need to emphasize that it will cost a lot of units, but, you know, I'm going to leave it there as long as you can reasonably attain them within the time frame provided. I definitely feel somewhat more reassured about this whole nameless champion thing after the stream than I was before. It's not going to be perfect, obviously. Not everybody is going to, you know, love it, but I took it as a genuinely better than expected situation. All right, they will be fun questing team. They will likely not be meta for Battlegrounds or AW. That's also kind of important to point out in case you are not able to gather them, that, you know, if they are not meta champions for most part, then, you know, you're not going to miss them as much. Future challenge objectives will require use of Deathless Champions. Now, this is kind of like a finicky, tricky part, because obviously if you do not gather all of them, then there's going to be an issue with that. And, you know, I guess giving people advance warning, but the problem would be if somebody wants like a break from the game or something of the sort. Most importantly, the final Deathless Champion that will only be available for those who have collected all of the other Deathless Champions will be very powerful, and you will only be able to acquire that champion if you have the rest of them, right? And that is the one that kind of is the kicker, because very powerful kind of implies that he is going to be a meta champion. So in a way, it negates all of this stuff. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. We can have a different discussion, more in-depth about it. But let's move on to the Necropolis. I mean, in-depth discussion in a separate video, if you guys want to. If you want me to make a Deathless Champion video, you know, comment on it in the description. Right, so Necropolis rewards, and they're solid. Path rewards, you know, we thought path rewards will be 4 to 5 gems. It's actually only 2 4 to 5 gems. And it's 2 7-star crystals, and it's 2 tier 2 primordial dust. So each path will have different rewards on them. And I don't know, I kind of would have preferred 6 4 to 5 gems, honestly. But, you know, these are path rewards, so obviously it's not the most important thing. But, you know, fair enough. This is what it is. 2 ascensions, it's kind of neat as well. And fast path rewards, we have the completion rewards. So you're going to have the Ruler of Necropolis, epic title, Deathless Guillotine piece, 10,000 Titan shards, 6-star relic, rank 1 to 2 gem, rank 2 to 3 gem crystal, and 2 7-star class crystal. You will be able to pick any class that you want, and they had actually finally went around the whole selector issue. And the reasoning here why they are crystals, even though you will be able to pick any of the 6 classes, it's quite simple, so you don't have to choose which class 7-star crystal you have before you open your rank 1 to 2 gem, which is such a simple thing that Kabam finally is addressing with these rewards, because you will want to, open your rank 1 to 2 gem. If it lands on a class that you do not have a strong candidate for, then you'll likely want to get the class crystals from the same class to hopefully improve your situation there. Right, also, in completion rewards, we're going to get a 6-star Maestro as a trophy champion. And that's very cool, because a lot of people will inevitably just do the completion and never do the exploration of Necropolis, because that always happens with Everest contents, and then you will still, at the very least, have the access to 6-star Maestro, and that will also make the rewards kind of relevant for a longer amount of time. So I like that. Also, they're adding a mastery point, which I think is a cool touch. I like that, I'm not gonna lie. In between the Nameless Guillotine piece, mastery point, Maestro, 6-star, 2 to 3 gem, I think virtually everybody who's remotely at the end game has more than enough incentive to do at least the completion run. Which I think is fair. I don't think they went completely overboard either. So here we are. And now exploration rewards. Profile picture, 3 6-star relic crystals, sure, whatever 7-star Titan crystal, that's cool. 7-star rank 1 to 2 gem, 7-star rank 2 to 3 gem, and if this was it would kind of seem a bit, slightly, tiny bit underwhelming to me, but luckily it wasn't it, because obviously we get 7-star Maestro for it. I don't know if we get Awakened or not, I hope we do get him Awakened, but we also get a pick any 7-star champion from the original pool in exploration rewards. So any 7-star you want. Like for me, obviously you all should know by now it's Shuri. I just really, really want to get my hands on a Shuri, my most wanted champion. There are plenty of other things that I would like. Dupe on Titania would be awesome. A dupe on Wiccan would be great. Dupe on Korg, dupe on Domino would be amazing too. Getting Sunspot would be cool. All of these things, but most importantly, I want to get my hands on a Shuri. So I'm just super happy that this will be a possibility. And that is also in the exploration rewards of Necropolis. And if you are one of the first 10 to explore it, you're also going to get a mythic badge, but you will need to record your runs and everything else because of their anti-cheat mechanics and so on, and get hyped for Necropolis. So I definitely will be streaming it as soon as it launches. But moving on, we're going to talk about the new progression title, and the speculation is over. It's only 2 rank 3 7-star champions, which is better than I predicted it to be. I predicted it to be 3, and possibly something else to it. So this is definitely much more reasonable, because you can get it immediately by exploring Necropolis, or you can complete Necropolis and get some Cyber Weekend deals, because there will be 1 rank 3 in Cyber Weekend deals, which I'm going to comment on in a second, or slightly later, I'm sure there's going to be some stuff in Banquet. There's going to be Act 8 exploration that you can do as well, complete Necropolis, explore Act 8, or explore Act 8 and get some offers. Don't do Necropolis. So I think this is about as reasonable as it could have gone down. I think this is, again, another Kabam W. I expected them to go harder on this. They didn't. Quite happy with that. And yes, also kind of like the reassuring fact that at max, people will only be able to get 1 full rank 3 in Cyber Weekend, which again is significantly better for game economy than I think pretty much anybody of us thought. So I think that's, Kabam being extremely reasonable and a massive W for them. Another thing though, Valiant perks. Obviously login crystals, login calendars, Valiant holiday gift, which is going to be better than the Paragon, so you will want to ideally get Valiant as early as possible. Glory Store upgrade, early 2024, exclusive challenge objectives in Q1 of 2024, other exclusive content, and here's going to be the thing that's kind of going to be controversial, but I think they are going to be, again, more reasonable than I expected them to be. Because the Valiant title is going to be available on November 15th. That means it's before Cyber Weekend. And Your daily deals are eventually going to get upgraded. Your preview bundles are eventually going to get upgraded as well as Valiant. Also, a few bonus Cyber Week offers. They are good. But the point is, there isn't going to be an entire new tier of Cyber Week offers. There's just going to be one unit and one cash offer that Valiants get extra, which I think, again, is about as reasonable as you could expect from Kabam. And I can't, believe I'm saying this much almost, but I think it's fair. I think given how predatory Kabam has been with all this stuff in past, I think this is genuinely like a solid kind of like compromise situation. I think this is about as good as they can navigate it from a business perspective and a player-based perspective. And, it feels good to actually not be, super pissed off about these type of things. And also upgraded Sigil events, 7-star Sigil Witch acquisition. Note Paragons also will have access to this, but will make progress slower. So 7-star Sigil Witch is coming to the game. And that is the meme. And that is it. That is the entire stream. Let me know what you like, what you didn't, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about